presents. And right.
You have to go into the presenter mode.
Always be on time, right? Is it working? Turn it on.
You have to go to the presenter mode.
Just on presenter mode. Just on presenter mode.
Because another one, it was coming out.
What's the problem?
Uh,
So just tell me what the problem is.
look.
What? So what? Right. Okay, let's see whether we can.
I'll get a bit shouty and buy you some time, okay?
Yeah.
Nick, do you have a minute?
Sorry. Yeah. What's the why is that not working?
And the clicker doesn't work.
Worked a minute. What's going on? Oh, something's going wrong.
Get that kind of view up there, okay? So we're going to do a few that's posted up, and we're not that. So what we're going to do tonight is one fireside chat, 5 startup demos. The point of demo night is not tell everybody what awesome so you give me money, okay? The point of demo night is you are all going to now become supporters, advocates, and critical friends of the founders that stand up here. And you're going to help them see what they can't see right now, or you're going to applaud them and give them lots of energy to actually go and build the things they're building. Because the number one reason that startups fail is that we build stuff that we think is awesome and nobody else cares about. And we're looking to you tonight to now help us build things that people will care about. Okay? So the fireside chat is going to be these two, just raise money, with Christina. With Christina hosting this piece, you're going to hear about what raising money really feels like for these guys who've done it. Then you're going to see 5 demos, okay? 5 minutes of the demo, 5 minutes of Q&A, your questions, your feedback. To begin with, though, let's just try and do something which we did in the other room about 2 hours ago. Will you all please stand for 1 second? Okay. Stick your arms left. Okay. Put your arms up wide. Touch your nose. Wait for everybody. Look around. Don't show up stupid. Okay. Now put this arm on the person next to you. I want you to know practice the clapping. About 50% of what I need in the next executive. So Robin and Jeremy are going to take the stage with Christina, and I want you to give them 2 or 3 extra. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hi everyone. Can everyone in the back hear me? Hopefully, yes. Thanks for coming. So this is a new format that we're introducing demos tonight, which is more of a deep dive into the founder journey of someone who's a little bit further down the line. And today we have the founders of Pravi AI, Jeremy and Robin. And you've just successfully raised a seed round, and we're going to hear a little bit about that journey. It's a 10-minute format, so I guess it's more of a speed fireside chat. There's no Q&A at the end, but you can catch these guys afterwards when we mingle. So yeah, let's get going. So I guess first, could you tell us about the problem that you discovered and how you went about solving it, and how did you actually validate it to start with?
Yeah, for sure. So we're building a platform that helps charities of any size find new donors. I used to work in the charity sector, and I had two sort of key pieces of personal experience, which was I worked at a small charity that didn't have access to data and tech, and then I worked at a large charity that did. And I saw the difference that would happen if you had access to data and the tools to grow your donor base. So we knew we wanted to build in that space. And in terms of validating the problem, we talked to loads and loads of charities. And that's the most important thing. We talked to charities, we donated to them. So we gave them money in exchange for their time, because obviously they're a charity and their time is precious. And we asked them, what is the big challenges that you're trying to solve? And they want more donors, they want the unrestricted funding, but it's really hard, it's difficult, it's time consuming, and it's expensive. And that was the basis of building Krabi.
Amazing, thanks for that. So you've just been through a fundraise and you're still alive. And I guess for anyone here who's been in those trenches, it's not easy. So the interesting bit here is, what type of strategies did you adopt? I guess it was a bit of trial and fail, but what strategies did you adopt that actually got the attention of the right investors?
A lot of it was strategic, but to be honest, a lot of our success, as it is, came from fast iteration of errors. So we sent some truly terrible decks out to some really valuable prospects. So that's one bit of advice I like to give early stage founders, which is wherever your deck is right now, it sucks. We had 57 versions, and we sent like version 1 to our absolute best cohort of prospects, and we should have sent them like version 10. So practice getting it wrong a few times on lower value prospects. There's also like a timing aspect, which again, we accidentally got right. So whether you like it or not, it's going to take you 6 months, and it's going to take a huge investment of your time as well. So just be aware that your products and your traction will suffer as you're raising. Fortunately, we started raising in October, which meant that about 6 months from then, it was April and the end of the tax year, so there was an extra pressure on for people to raise. So maybe you can't time it exactly like that, but just do be aware that it does take that time. And then I guess the third thing is, when you are looking at your prospects, think about what your strengths as a investment vehicle are to these people. Think of them that like they're your customer. We're quite an ESG friendly business. We're helping nonprofits change the world, and we have a fantastic female founder. So it's no surprise that the funders we went with in the end were actually like a B Corp. And so you will appeal to a particular type of investor. Figure out what your strengths are, figure out who wants that, and then go to that person.
Thank you. So from all of that learning, how does the roadmap look in the next 6 months?
So we're getting ready to raise again. So I guess it's all about the customer, and then it's all about the investor, right? So you're just spinning those two plates. So we're trying to we're building a platform that the customer wants, that they're going to use, that they'll pay for, so that we get traction, we get users, we get revenue, and at the same time mapping that against the same sort of metrics that our investors want to see, but also that potential future investors want to see when we raise the next round. So I think like maybe at the start of the process, we thought that like we just need to raise, that's all we need to do. But now we've done that, it's just the next thing on the next thing. And it will always be like that now. We've kind of stepped onto that merry-go-round. And so it's about balancing those priorities, the priorities of the customer, and then also the priorities of the investors.
Sounds like a lot. I guess like an interesting question when you're starting up is always like the co-founder relationship. It's like make it or break it for any startup. So have you discovered something magical that has like in this journey, which is quite difficult with the fundraise? What is the best tips of how to,
Well, we I don't know if we're a particularly unique case, but we asked if I discovered something magical. during the co-founder process. I actually discovered that, well, many years prior to. Robin and I are actually partners in life as well as business. But when you are finding your co-founder, you need to find someone with like a really healthy dose of optimism, because you'll get your butt kicked relatively frequently. And you'll be down from time to time. You just want to find someone who's up when you're down, and vice versa. So, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be in a partnership with them, but it's going to feel like that at times, regardless.
I was going to say on that, so I think that like, I was going to say that also, I think in the beginning, I thought that Jeremy would be kind of responsible for the raise, and that I would do, you know, I'd be responsible for customer interaction. But actually what happened is that you both your co-founders need to be part of it. And it becomes like, you know, both of you are running at it head on and keeping everything balanced as well. So that kind of shared responsibility, I think it's too much responsibility for one person to kind of shoulder. I don't know how solo founders do it.
Amazing, thanks. One last question. What is a founder myth that you have completely debunked during this journey? Because it's kind of glorified to an extent.
You want to go? I think that it's not all. Once you have the money, you just have more problems. Having the money doesn't solve all the problems. So there's just new problems. There's more money. You need more money. It carries on. So it's not the end of a journey. It's just the next step. And you carry on building something bigger and better. And sometimes it can feel like the be all and end all, but actually it's just kind of part of the journey. And also it's not very glamorous.
It is cool, it's not glamorous.
I guess a lot of people can relate to that if you're in the same position. I think that's all we have time for. Jana's looking at me nodding. Yes, it's Jana's turn. So thank you to Jeremy.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Because we did put some, okay, I see some nodding. It's good. Is it too loud? No? Great. Okay, because last time we did have some sound problems. So this time we said, no, you have to hear us because there's going to be amazing startup here that will be pitching. As you guys know, it's super, super scary to pitch. So please always clap for them and also bring your critical mind and ask them some questions. So before I'm going to start, I'm going to bring the first startup that will be pitching. We do have this wonderful panel, and I will ask them to do some introduction. Mark, over to you.
Hello, I'm Mark, CTO at Ebbsford Accountants. I used to work with Jana, and I've worked with Robin and Jeremy in the past.
I'm Rachel Sestini. This is the evening of accountants because I'm also an accountant. So hope everyone's all overjoyed about that. And I'm the CFO in residence at Canopy Community.
Hi everyone, my name is Donald Hamid. I'm a growth strategy analyst at a climate tech scale-up, and I'm also a scout for a UK Angel Syndicate.
Hi everyone, my name is Ruben. I'm one of the academics here at Bayes, and I look after the Masters in Entrepreneurship.
So their primary work will be always the first question will go to this panel, so they will be picking the brains. But nevertheless, Björn, come and tell us about your startup.
Good evening. Real pleasure to be here. For those of you who were at the conference before, you know, the theme was innovating for impact, and that's one of our objectives and goals at Uvantium as well. So I'm Björn. I'm the co-founder of a biotech startup, having dropped biology in 10th grade. Can I take this? Yeah. So my background is material science and chemical engineering. And I met 5 years ago somebody very smart, very experienced, that knows a lot about immunology. And we decided that we need to bring that technology to patients. And that's what we're doing. And our mission is really or vision, I should say. A vision is a world where we can treat, cure, and protect everyone, everywhere from disease, right? So that together we can make the world stronger. And important is everyone and everywhere. As you know, there's challenges around deploying life-changing medicines across the world, and especially in areas that are less fortunate in their economic development. They have a different climate than us. They have needs that are very different to the Western world, and we want to address some of these issues. And one of the big challenges is called antimicrobial resistance that you may or may not be aware of. People call that the silent pandemic. At the moment, about 5 million people every year lose their life associated with AMR. The numbers for the UK are quite shocking, every 15 minutes. So during the demo night, we're going to have 4 people dying because of AMR-related circumstances. But one of the things that really struck with me when I looked at the statistics is life expectancy. So if I can ask everybody to raise their hand, just, I'm sure I'm not going to make you look stupid. Everybody under the age of 40, lower your hands. Congratulations, 125 years ago, you would be still alive. Everybody else who still has their hand up, the chances are that you have not passed that age. Everybody under the age of 55, lower their hands. Congratulations, your life was saved by vaccines. Everybody under the age of 70, please lower your hands. Your life was saved by antibiotics, right, and hygiene. We have unfortunate one person. If you're under age of 80, you're allowed to lower your hand. Your life was saved and is still saved by modern medicine, right? So life expectancy globally is hitting a level at 80 years, right? And we have, over the last 40 years, only gained 8 years of life expectancy globally. Obviously, there are the outliers like yourself, but it's one of the big problems. And what antimicrobial resistance, meaning getting an infection against a bacteria where their antibiotics are not working anymore, does to you, in the next 10 years, we're going to lose 2 years of life expectancy. That's 25% of the whole 8 years we won over the last 40 years. Right? So we want to change that, and we want to do that via prevention rather than protection. Treatment, I should say. So treatment would be an antibiotic. You go into a hospital, have a routine surgery, you may get cancer treatment, etc. You're going to get an antibiotic against the bacteria because your immune system is compromised, and people hope that you will not get an infection that is the bacteria which is resistant. What we do is we're developing immune therapies or vaccines that are targeting drug-resistant bacteria. And if you're here, I think everybody now is familiar with COVID and the vaccines in COVID. What most people don't know is that you always need the antigen, right? The antigen is the spike protein. Everybody knows what the spike protein is. That tells your immune system what to attack. It does not tell the immune system how to attack it or how best to attack it. In fact, if you get a spike protein injected, not much will happen, right? What you also need is an immune stimulant. Immune stimulant is basically the clumsy burglar that is roaming around in your body, and the immune system is the police that is catching it, right? And that is what really drives efficacy of a vaccine and drives your immune system to react to it. So what you see on the slide is just an example. There's a vaccine against the shingles. It was for a long time a very low efficacy of 56%. GSK was smart enough to add a very sophisticated immune stimulator to that vaccine, and that boosted it to 95%. How? what we do is we develop these immune stimulators and make nanoparticles to really tell your immune system how to attack in the right way, the right pathogen at the right time.
Wonderful. So I'm a timekeeper today. So unfortunately, when I will be clapping you guys off, it's all made of love, you know. But I only have 5 minutes. So the first question will go to the panel, to the Rachel.
So, I mean, getting anything approved from a medical perspective is well known to be a nightmare. So what is your timeline on having your products actually released in general usage?
Yeah, you're absolutely right? So we're having a dual strategy on the business side, in the sense that we want to develop our own assets, and then we're looking at a timeline of 8 to 12 years, you know, to get it to the patient. Now COVID has proven that you can go faster, but it has to be proven if that is happening again. But we have a platform technology, which means the applicability is not only for bacterial infection, it could be viral infection, it could be cancer. You know, everywhere where you need the immune system to take some of the job to fight the disease is applicable. So we're looking for partnerships with established pharma companies that have the resources and the knowledge to bring their technologies with ours to the patient.
Any questions from the audience? No questions from the audience.
Thank you very much. So the product is a platform or a vaccine?
So our technology is a platform. What you see there is what we make is pixie dust. You know, we make small nanoparticles, smaller than the diameter of your hair, which are combined with a peptide and a protein and RNA, mRNA also. And these will be injected into your body to teach your immune system which pathogen to fight and how to fight it. And the platform is we can tailor these compounds to the pathogen, to the antigen, and make it as flexible as possible. And we have the ability to do that without needing necessarily a cold chain. You know, we all know from the RNA vaccines, you need to freeze them very deeply, which makes it really hard to deploy them in sub-Saharan Africa, right? So we're working on a technology that allows to take advantage of the existing infrastructure and cold chain.
Any other questions?
Thank you. That was really interesting. I'm not sure if you half answered the question I want to ask, which is about you want to bring something which poorer areas of the world don't have. But what you're talking about is actually very high tech. You're relying on big pharma to help you out get the permissions. Big pharma tend not to want to take economic risks. I think there's a little bit of a contradiction there.
I think you're right in the sense that, especially currently, right, the risk adversity is there. I think what we believe in that is that there is opportunity both in terms of having impact and a social responsibility, but also from an economic side to make money on that, right? So if you think about the cost of a vaccine, right? An mRNA COVID vaccine costs less than $2 to manufacture. You know how much Pfizer, BioNTech, etc. have charged for it, especially in the US. So the cost is not, you can make money even if you deploy life-saving vaccines in LMICs. There's no question around that, right? It's a different business model. It's not going to make you as much money, but it will make money, right? And then you have to, as a company, you have to balance your portfolio of assets, between, a drug or vaccine that is in demand in a high-income country where the healthcare system is able to pay more because the value that is generated is higher, and at the same time support then the LMICs. And our mission The Avantium is to have this balanced portfolio and find ways of making these vaccines then also accessible in LMICs.
Unfortunately, 5 minutes flew
Come
by.
later, find me.
Yeah,
I'm
so
happy to
please,
take
please do
any
speak with
questions.
you.
Thank you.
Usually when we go to these events, people say, don't look at your phone, because you have to listen and pay attention. We are doing the opposite. Please take your phone, and there's a code there on Mentimeter, and use the code 32, 60, 50, and 15. And why is this important? Because we give feedback to the startups. What can they improve on? Did you really understand what they're doing? Because that's very important. When you're creating a company, we are all solving a problem. So please, your feedback is so important for us. To go take your device. We're one of this type of events, and do let us know whether you get it. Oh, 30, 32, 60, 50, 15. And please do rank whether you get it, whether you would use it, whether you would invest in it, and whether you would recommend it to a friend. Again, this is a unique, let's say, event today, because you don't know who is beside you. There can be business leaders, there can be entrepreneurs, investors, and so on. So again, please do talk to a lot of people, but also give us feedback. That's so important. So hopefully you have already been getting yourself into menti.com, use the code, and start being a bit more. The code is 32, 60, 50, and 15. 32, 60, 50, 15, 1-5. Okay, so, but I'm fast because again, I'm all about the timing, and I only have very little time. So Adam, can you come to the stage and tell us about the Discover?
Thank you very much, everybody. My name is Gabriel, and this is Adam, and we are going to present our app, Discover. Look forward to your feedback. So let me just warm up the room and ask a quick icebreaker. So hands up if anybody in here uses Instagram or TikTok. Majority of you. Keep your hands up, please. Yeah, keep your hands up if you use, keep your hands up if you've ever seen a recommendation of an art gallery, restaurant, or hotel on Instagram or TikTok. Okay, that's most of you again. Keep your hands up if you've ever wanted to go to that recommendation. Most of you again. Keep your hands up if you've been to at least one of those recommendations. Okay, hands up. Keep your hands up. Your hands must be burning right by now. Keep your hands up if you've been to at least 50% of those recommendations. I thought so. Most of the hands have gone down in the room. Well, these are the type of scenarios that we're trying to solve today. Look, when you're out and about and you've seen a video from your favorite creator and you forget to save it, or you can't find it once you're going through your Instagram post, or you're out and about in the middle of London and you're trying to find a video of somewhere to go again and you can't find it, this is the type of the scenarios we're trying to solve. I'm going to pass you on now to my co-founder, Adam, who will go through our app and let you know about the scenarios we're trying to solve.
Hi everyone, thank you. So as Gabriel mentioned, what we're trying to do, just move to the top. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure you discover all the places that you really want to go to as often as you can. The way we're doing that is we're working with multiple influencers and we are creating maps for all their recommendations. If you give me one. So our MVP, so what we started with, what we already have a couple of influencers on, is built in Google Maps, which I'll be showing you. And we're also building an application which combines all of the best bits of Google Maps and Instagram and TikTok as well. So on the screen, you'll be able to see Google Maps right now. And if you see, we are currently just in the middle of the map, minus the accuracy issue. And you see a lot of pins, which are generally not there on Google Maps. These are pins that we have created for each of the influencers we're working with. So if I look at 21 Chiswell Street and I click on it, the blue plaque indicates that it's a map we've created for English Heritage, which puts up the blue plaque signs all across London. This is, again, just a few seconds away from us, was the Foundry, which was established by William Caslon. And I can even click on the link and it'll take me to the English Heritage site. So you can learn a little bit more about what that place was. So it's all built into your Google Maps. As you're sort of walking around, you can go on and explore. Minus the GDPR elements, obviously. If I scroll around a little bit more as well, you can see this, you have the flying horse. If I click on this, this is a creator called Historic Pub Crawls. And he basically made a video about this pub. So we've connected his Instagram account directly to this, and minus all the cookies and everything that we have to go through, you will be able to see his video directly as well. Now, again, you can see there's a few issues here and there. This is all sort of part and parcel of sort of working with Google Maps and working on another platform. So, but this was our MVP. Our next stage is what we're actually doing is we've built our own app. Now, in our own app, we're basically combining all of those two elements, which is the videos and the pins. So if you click on any of the influencers pages, you'll be able to sort of see the video. You'll be able to see recommendations for the restaurant, what the reviews are when it's open, and you'll soon be able to sort of book the venue and make a reservation as well. Again, we're not just focused on restaurants. This is for an event and an art gallery. It can be a historical site like what we showed you with the blue plaque. And the goal is your favorite influencers will basically put up their recommendations. We'll map it out for them. They will then tell you, listen, you can get a like all of my recommendations for £1, £2, £3 a month and save it on either our app or within Google Maps, however you wish. So when you're sort of walking around London or any other city that you're in, you'll be able to have all of these recommendations and all the videos and content that goes with it, all sort of tied in hand. And we'll go to the next slide.
So do you go back to here? Back to here? This one? Okay.
And what we're sort of looking for now is we've got influencers on, but we're still working on how we can sort of craft a story. What is the best name to call it? So while Discover is a very good name, DSCVR, it's a little bit clunky as well. So we'd love sort of your recommendations on other sort of name choices. We've sort of given that there. If you'd like to test our app and see all the sort of demo maps that we've created, you can just scan the QR code and help us along with that too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that, guys. So the first question goes to.
Thank you. This looks like a great app. Thanks for that. So I guess my question is mostly about, I guess quite a standard one, the revenue aspect of this, because previous apps that I have used that gave me a curated overview of things to do, I've loved them, but they also stopped running at some point because they didn't manage to find a business model. So that's my first question. How are you gonna learn from those experiences and be better than them? And the second related to that is, are there many other examples of apps that you know where people are willing to pay influencers for their advice and tips?
So I'll answer the first question first. The biggest one is OnlyFans, and then you obviously have Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee and all of that. One of the names we're considering is Only Places. So if you think that's a potentially good name, please sort of vote as well. So we're generating revenue already. So what's happened is the influencers, they have a lot of engagement with their fans. And this is a problem most people see. Like, I want to go to a lot of these recommendations, but then finding that place afterwards, especially if it's a new town, a new city, it's very, very difficult. With these maps, the influencer can sell them on, and it's the influencer's choice. They can sell it for £1, £2. They can do it as a one-off cost or a subscription model. They can even offer it for free. Because the first revenue stream will be selling the sale of the map, where they get the majority of the revenue from us because they're driving traffic to our app and everything like that. The second revenue stream is when we start connecting the booking engines. So when we connect with OpenTable or Ticketmaster and all of that, whenever a sale goes through that affiliate link, there's a potential sort of revenue there. But then as this grows, we want to take it further. So for example, when an influencer is working with a restaurant, let's say, they can say, also do this, so pay me my whatever upfront fee to make the video, but the first 100 of my followers who come in to Discover, give them a free appetizer. So that's another incentive to sort of follow the influencer and so forth as well. So there are multiple ways of going around it, and it has to sort of be built on revenue. Without it, it doesn't make sense.
And any questions from the audience?
I love this. It's cool. I'm going to download it. And everyone else should as well. It's a cool idea. But Meta already has the influencers, the infrastructure, and there's like a mapping feature on Instagram already. Yeah, that's fair. Don't get me wrong. I love this. I'm genuinely going to download it. I'm going to use it. But like, what's the moat against Meta coming in and eating your lunch?
Excellent question. So for us, we want to be a creator-first sort of community building app, based around all of these sort of recommendations and venues. But and honestly though, it's a very fair question, and we just have to scale up very, very quickly and get people hooked onto the app. Just go fast, and hopefully, as you saw, like the demo of the app, it's still very, very broken. That's why we're here.
Another questions from the audience? Any other questions? Mark?
I don't really get influences. Could you build into the app a way of filtering or searching for things that are popular, other people in your demographics are looking for?
Absolutely. So you'll only see the pins of the people you follow. So when you download the app, there'll be a lot of free maps that we put up as well. So for example, it'll be the top 100 restaurants in London, or it could be a Sherlock Holmes sort of tour. So it's completely up to you. So we'll put in a ton of content. It's sort of up to whatever you like and your interest. So, and there's also a feedback form there where you can say, oh, give us a map of this, and we'll create that for you as well.
And that was all, 10 minutes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If I get the clicker back, do we have the clicker? Here's right here. So again, guys, do you get it? Would you invest in it? Would you recommend it to a friend? So please do vote. Please do vote, because your feedback is so important for the startups, because again, it's so hard to do this. Okay, so the next one is Stilo. So Edmund, come and give us your.
Thank you very much. Hey, how's everyone doing? Are doing all right? Not a noisy crowd, yeah? Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. So my name is Edmund. I'm the CEO and founder of Stilo Labs.
And my name is Ravi, and I'm the COO and co-founder of Stilo. Is this working? There we go. Yeah, so just a bit of backstory of me and Ed. We actually met at this university. We became really good friends really quickly because we share the same passion, which is music. Me, myself, I used to be an artist manager. Ed was a music producer. So we really had first-hand experience in the music industry and seen the harsh reality of how the music industry is to artists. So before we start, I'm just going to ask you guys a few questions. I promise I'm not copying anyone, yeah? So raise your hands if you listen to music. Come on, it must be all of you, right? If not, I think you all are probably. Okay, now raise your hands again if you have a favorite artist. Okay, now raise your hands again if you support that artist by streaming their music. Yeah? Okay, now raise your hands if you knew that 65% of musicians actually have 2 jobs. Okay, now raise your hand again if you knew that 44% of musicians only earn over £12,000 from their art. You got a professional there. So, the music industry is really failing right now. It's really failing its artists. Artists lacking discoverability. They lack platforms that give them fair monetization. And when they upload their content on these platforms, they lose the ownership of it. And that's why we built Stilo.
So Stilo is a social media app that is built on iOS and Android. And simply put, what we're doing is we're helping musicians turn their fans into super active supporters. So the way we go about that is tokenization, which I'll break down a little bit later. But put it simply, we're creating keys that enable an actual direct access to the universe of the creator. The way we do that is through the key free features. So the first one is the Mosaic. The Mosaic is a content feed where you will be browsing horizontally between creators and you'll be browsing vertically within directly the creator's feed. So once you buy the token of the creator, you get exclusive content on the Mosaic. You then have the Bazaar. The Bazaar is a marketplace. Think of it a bit like a Binance and OpenSea inspired place. And what we're doing here is you will be discovering and trading the creator tokens. Finally, we have the Village. The Village is like a Discord, a Telegram, and what you will find is that on this Village, you will get access to the direct channels for each creator once you buy the tokens, and once you sell it, you get kicked out. So then we have, So then we have the creator tokens. I've used the word creator tokens. It doesn't mean much to most people. What we mean by that is cryptocurrencies. That's kind of confusing. What we really mean by that is Steez, and what Steez is tokenizing the creator at a brand level rather than the collectibles that they create, so the content and the art that they make. From doing that, we are reshaping how we quantify and reward the success of a creator and their audience. So on Stilo, you will have 500 Steez per creator per year, and every single transaction of those Steez will have a portion of that value directly redistributed to the creator themselves and every single holder of the token. That over time will create different benefits and a wide range of benefits, but for today's purpose, we kept it simple. So for the musicians, what you have is basically freedom and stable monetization. What we mean by freedom is basically regaining ownership of how you create, who you create for, and how you share it, and how you directly communicate with the audience. In terms of stable monetization, as Ravi mentioned earlier, what we mean by that is we can actually create a stable revenue stream that allows creators to basically make a living from their art without having to spread thin. It also means transparency and analytics to make better decisions, which feed back into freedom because you no longer have to depend so much on agencies like record labels who will basically manage and control your career. On terms of the other side of the coin, when we talk about consumers, we are basically talking about a stronger community and as well as organic algorithm. What I mean by community is a community where art is at the heart of everything and where people are basically trading direct connections as the key native transaction currency rather than anything else. It also means that with our algorithm, and the app has no ads at all because we don't need it, it means that we don't need to have to chase for trend-based algorithms. We don't have to chase for kind of like controversial systems. We can work with a system where you are directly match-made with the people who you will connect with. So here we are asking for 250 grand. The key reason for that is basically Ravi and I have been working on this for 3.5 years. We have been bootstrapping everything from scratch for the last 3.5 years, and it has required that we wear many hats. So Ravi himself has been handling, in addition to his key responsibilities as COO, has been also managing everything relating to marketing, as well as everything relating to finance. I have myself been doing a lot of the development and the design. So we're here asking for 250 grand for 5% of the business for a valuation of £5 billion pre-money.
And I know a lot of you here probably don't have £2,000 or £3,000 in your pocket right now to give us. If you do, come have a conversation with us. But if not, we do have a QR code here for our live demo, which is on Android and iOS. We're also releasing our alpha very soon, so if you'd like to support us further, please go ahead over to stilo.io and sign up for it. I really appreciate your time, guys, and I've answered any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So the first question goes to Donald.
Thank you for the presentation. So today there's still a lot of skepticism around crypto and Web3. So what's your go-to-market strategy to shift consumer behavior to drive customer adoption?
So we've made it so frictionless that you wouldn't know it's there. So put it simply, you will create a wallet without knowing that's a wallet using basic two-factor authentication. You will be managing your wallet like you would in a normal bank account. So you don't need to know about wallets, cryptocurrencies, private keys, and anything relating to it. And we've also created basically the most frictionless system, from the transactions to the interactions to actually balance, checking all of your funds and interacting with them.
Any questions from the audience? Yeah.
I might have missed it, but where does the money come from?
Which money?
Yeah, your income.
Oh, so we basically, so I was talking about the revenue being shared. The artist gets 2.5% on every transaction. We'll take 1.25%. 1.25% will be shared between all the token holders. In addition to that, when the token is initially minted, we'll take 10% on the mint, which means that the artists don't actually have to pay anything. We'll take a fee from what they generate from the revenue.
Does that mean there's a membership fee?
No, it's free.
You have an extra subscription model, but that's for the side. So basically, if you think about it, it's all done through a tokenomic model, right? So if you pay £100 for one token, we'll take 10% of that. So the artist can come on the platform free. He can try. If he fails, he can try again in the future. But it's no upfront cost for him, and we only take the money once they get paid.
You still seem a little bit confused. We can talk about afterwards.
You mentioned you reached 250 grand, and you was asking you have a £5 million valuation. Just want to know how you managed to get to those figures.
Okay, so currently we want to onboard 42 artists, and on Stilo generates £3,062 on average per year per artist. So we also got a valuation, which is a multiplier, which is like 25.2, comparing it to our competitors. And then because we obviously built the MVP by hand, we've done our tokenomics model, we built our smart contracts where we've got some confirmation from Nick Mudge that's or from the Diamond standard contract that our smart contracts are actually the most complicated smart contracts that he's ever seen.
Jürgen?
Why are you using, so first of all, you have the pre-money valuation at 5 million and your post-money was what exactly?
It's 26 million.
So pre-money and post-money, you know the difference should not be 250,000 if you're raising 250,000.
Okay, the way we kind of calculate it is...
It's not a calculation, it's pre-money, post-money is the pre-money plus the money, which gives you the post-money. So anyways, my question was regarding why are you guys using crypto rather than just gamify it? Why are you using tokens? Why are you using anything like that that costs more money to make rather than actually just gamifying things?
So it doesn't actually cost us that much because we're using...
Not you, but the environment in general.
Yeah, for us and the users of the platform, it doesn't cost much.
What's the value?
The value of the cryptocurrency means that simply put, so in the music industry currently, it takes about 3 to 9 months for the revenue streams to arrive to the music artists. So that means that if you release an album and you paid for 2 years to make it, you will still wait a whole year. There's a lot of opacity in the industry that makes it really hard for people to get information about where the money is and when it's coming and how it is. Because we're working on a social media system that everything's supposed to be kind of like second, we're trying to make sure that everything is completely transparent and that the system itself is decentralized. So that means that actually we release the platform, we will keep on maintaining it, but as an ecosystem and through the smart contracts that Ravi discussed earlier, everything will be autonomous and keep on managing itself throughout the time. And it also makes it easier for the value redistribution. So you can instantly, every time someone buys a token, you can have the money instantly sent to the wallet of the creator, as well as all their teams and all the collaborators that they work with.
Any other questions from the audience? I have to just ask guys, a bit behind. I know the pizza is so good, but it's a lot of noise from here. So if you guys can go a little bit further, this functions, a little bit further down, that would really help us because there's a lot of noise here. So please, just thank you. I know the pizza is good. Any last question from the audience? I think you guys said it all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Again, please do vote. Please do vote. Do you get it? Would you use it? Would you invest in it? And would you recommend to a friend? So again, your feedback is so useful to us. And then, Ewan, come on stage, tell us about TerraSearch.
Trying to get some Mint.
Yeah.
Yeah, mint.com. It's a web.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Ian. I'm one of the founders of TerraSure. We are the fastest route to climate compliance for SMEs. Oops, wrong way. Here we go. So TerraSure has been born out of Go Climate Positive, which is an established business. We're experts in helping SMEs meet their climate compliance needs already. You can see on the right, we are an established business. We've got an established income and we are currently self-financed. TerraSure is a new brand that we're creating to provide automated climate compliance and really speed up the whole process. So the problem is that businesses now must comply with climate disclosure standards to meet both contractual and legal requirements, but typically, especially SMEs, they don't have any time, resources or skills to do that themselves. So we're providing a SaaS solution that gives a quick, reliable and affordable end-to-end solution. You start off with nothing and you end up with a compliant report. And you do that simply by answering questions about your business and providing the data we ask for. There are various use cases. The one I want to talk about arises out of the Procurement Act 2023. Yes, I know it's dull, but it went live last month, and it means that 30,000 government contracts every year, if you want to bid for one of those, you must have a carbon reduction plan. So we reckon that market's worth about £300 million per year. And what I want to do is to demonstrate to you the user journey of an SME who suddenly discovers that they need to provide a carbon reduction plan to this standard. Oops, I've gone too far. So hopefully, can you try and start my video, please?
So I want you to imagine you are a small software company, you're doing a tender, and you come down towards the end to this requirement here, copy and paste the link to your carbon reduction plan, compliant with PPM 0621. And you've got to get this done in 2 weeks. What's your reaction?
Oh, sorry, it needs to keep playing.
So I want you to imagine you are a small software company, you're doing a tender, and you come down towards the end to this requirement here. Copy and paste the link to your carbon reduction plan, compliant with PPM 0621. And you've got to get this done.
Like crazy then. Right. Yeah, we go. So this is the typical reaction of
Let me show you. Quick bit of Googling, and you'll discover a format like this. It's a carbon reduction plan.
You've got to present your
publishing baseline emissions, your baseline emissions in TCO2e, separated by Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3. Also, these are your current emissions in exactly the same way. You need to project what your emissions reduction is going to be over the next 10 years. Provide some carbon reduction initiatives that you've already completed and some carbon reduction initiatives you're going to do. And then that needs to be signed off by a director to say that it's in accordance with calculations with in accordance with SEC.
So what we're going to do is to create a platform that makes it very easy for SMEs to do this simply by answering questions they should know about their business to provide the data.
This is where we come in. Let me show you how this is going to work.
So here we go. Let's show you what the user journey looks like.
What we're doing here is demonstrating our automated solution, and all you've got to do is answer questions about your business and provide the data requested.
Hopefully,
so let's
here we go. Seeker Limited is
name.
This is me typing in. This is generally in real time.
And then we can continue. So we are creating a new plan.
You want to create a new plan, or are we adding a year to an existing plan?
Year
to create a new plan
that has just finished.
Is it for a financial year?
We haven't got any subsidiaries, so we need to do that. We've got one facility.
Next question. How many facilities do you have? How many premises?
Road.
Let's say we've got one, and we're going to call it Station Road.
We don't use any gas heating, so we say no to that. We do buy electricity, so let's say yes. We can get our electricity bills, yeah. So, okay, let's upload our electricity bills.
All we need to do then is upload our
and what's going to happen now is our AI engine is going to automatically read those, extract the energy consumption, do the calculation for the total tons of CO2e, and add that into the correct scope. That's all going to happen automatically. We're a software business, so we don't really have any waste, we don't have any company vehicles.
So we're answering no.
We do some business travel.
So we're now going to ask them to upload
so let's upload an expenses file.
The AI engine's going to strip
that.
you want from that.
There we go. And again, it's going to extract the mileage information, convert that into CO2e, and add that to the correct scope. If we don't have expenses data in a spreadsheet, we can add that information directly. We don't use it for transport, we use air. We probably do need to do an employee commuting survey, which we've got a form for doing, but
we generate a survey which automatically generates the link like an email.
Customers don't travel to us.
They respond to the survey that automatically feeds information into our calculation.
Customers arrange any. Okay, so we now need to state some actions that we've already done. We haven't done anything.
There you go.
It goes really fast. No worries. The first question will go to Rachel.
Okay, so I've got one of my businesses is an SME, and we don't bid for any government contracts. So why would we need this?
You wouldn't. That's not our target market.
Can I do a follow-up in that case? Yes. I mean, are there other businesses who are not directly involved in government contracts who may also have other reasons for getting involved in carbon reduction?
Yes, there are. So if you look at any supplier to the NHS, suppliers to big corporates like Tesco, all of Tesco's, or Tesco's demand, all of their suppliers supply a carbon reduction plan. You may want to go for some sort of ESG certification that demonstrates your own corporate values, such as B Corp. Again, with B Corp, with the new requirements that they brought out, you have to be measuring your scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions. You have to have a climate transition plan. So there's a couple of other good reasons. It doesn't have to be only a government contract. This was just one example.
Any questions from the audience?
Thank you very much for the fantastic presentation. I'm just looking at, is this product's intention is only for the Europe market or UK market? And if not, how can you evaluate the impact of the pullout of the US from the climate accord recently? What are the impact does it have in the global scope of climate compliance?
So, and your business in the long term, sure. I mean, our finances are based on the UK market only, but the EU is a strong market for us. Ultimately, a lot of businesses in the US also understand they will need to address this and are addressing it. It may take longer. You know, I see the current tricky situation in the US is ultimately short term because, you know, we soon will be realizing that it will cost more for us not to address the climate emergency than it will to ignore it. So, you know, we've got markets in the UK and EU for now. The US will come on board.
Hey Ian, thank you very much for that. What's the traction and what's your moves to get into the whole 300 million we talked about?
So we have got around about 90 clients at the moment that we're doing this for, with a monthly an MRR of just shy of 16,000. So that's kind of we're just about to kind of break even at the moment. So we know how to do it. The issue we've got is that we now need to automate it in order to make it scalable in an economic way.
You said earlier that the directors have to sign the document that you give him. One, how do you create the trust that they can actually trust the document that you create for them enough for them to vouch for whatever data understanding that you read for them? And two, is there any insurance that you have, any recourse that there is against you, anything like that?
So they're currently they're trusting in our expertise. They seem to at the moment. Obviously, we would be indemnifying ourselves against any comeback, you know, in terms of you know, what's the right word? We need to make sure that we indemnify ourselves against any financial concerns that may come from it not complying. But obviously, our job is to make sure it does comply. So far, people are willing to take that on trust because they haven't got a clue.
in terms of the report, do you give any support to reduce carbon footprint? Any consultancy around it?
Yeah, we do. So part of the report is the plan to reduce. So we didn't quite see that on the demo, but what we're going to build is an action library. So you'll be able to say, what do you want to work on? I want to work on reducing emissions from my energy. So we will then present you with various options that you might consider, present you with how to build a business case for that, the costs and the pros and cons, and that will allow you to build a meaningful action plan for you.
And this was the last question. Thank you so much, Yun. Please give me a clap of that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, please do vote. Do you get it? Would you do this? Or does your company need it? Would you invest in it, or would you recommend to a friend? Please do vote. It would be wonderful. Thank you so much. I will give you a few more minutes. And then last, and I will ask, guys, I know the pizza is super good, but it's coming a lot of noise from there. So please, if you guys can go a bit more down, that would be very wonderful. And I would like to invite the last but not least, Federico. Tell us a little bit about your startup. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Let's test this out. Yep, it works well. All right, great. So meet Sarah and GoWell. Now, Sarah, she's an up-and-coming content creator. She's based in the UK, and she's passionate about self-care and wellness. She's built a loyal audience that trusts her recommendations, and she's constantly posting high-quality content that her audience trusts. Now, on the other side, we have a skincare brand called GoWell, right? They're based in Europe. They've been extremely successful, and they're now looking to expand into a new market, such as the UK one. Now, GoWell is facing a major challenge. They don't know how to reach out to the right creators. They're struggling with outreach, and the overall process of partnering, finding creators, and managing their performance feels inefficient, lengthy, and is very, very expensive. So, how do we help these companies connect with the right creators? Well, on the other side, Sarah, she would be a great fit for GoWell. And that's because her values already align with the brand values. She's already worked with many brands in the skincare niche, which align with her audience. And her audience is exactly the type of customer GoWell is trying to tap into. And that's exactly where Linkable comes in. We help creators and brands connect in the most efficient way through our platform, streamlining all those processes which involve connecting with the right creators, managing partnerships, and managing payments and payouts all in one place. Now, I could expand a lot on the problem on both sides, but I'm cautious of time. So let's dive straight into the product. So how does Linkable actually works, and how do we help these brands? Well, first of all, across the past 9 months, we've made a lot of progress. Among the various milestones we reached, there's establishing a partnership with Shopify. If you are new to Shopify, Shopify is the leading e-commerce platform, and they power over 2 million brands worldwide. Now, why is this partnership relevant to us? Well, we get access to over 2 million merchants' stores data, including price, product catalogs, and other relevant detail to their stores. How do we use this data? Well, as soon as the brand signs up to Linkable, they're able to get access to a curated list of creators, which could be a great product for the brand. Now, we do this by connecting the data points we collect on the brand side with the ones we collect on the creator side. If the brand is not happy with the list of curated creators that we offer them, they can then fine-tune the research and filter creators through over 100 different data points. We collect this data from Meta, so we also have a partnership with Meta, which enable us to show brands all relevant details around the creators, audience, performance, and other relevant details. Now, let's pretend that we found the right creator for our product campaigns. The next step is for us to invite them to promote one of our active products. And this can really happen in a couple of clicks. I'm going to show you how this look. I'm just going to skip through the demo. Can we play this video? Thanks. Yeah. So as I said, as soon as they sign up, they're presented with a curated list of creators. If they're not happy with the current selection, they can fine-tune the research, they can filter through 100 different parameters, and then once they've found the right one, they're able to invite them to promote one of their products. Now, what makes us different is the fact that we're actually able to track these campaigns in real time and measure performance in real time. So we're actually able to measure sales, revenue, and clicks all through our platform. This obviously happens once the creator is connected with the brand. So once the two connect, if the creator decides to promote the brand's product, they can then they will then receive an affiliate link, which they can then share with their audience. And every time someone from their audience end up buying the products, we are able to see that and display this information on both sides of the platform. So both brands and creators can see how well they're performing and manage all their communication, performance, and payments for our platform. How much time do I have left? 5 seconds, okay. That's it. Thank you.
So the first question will go to.
Thanks for that pitch. I think, yeah, it shows how in detail what you can do when you link creators to a brand. My question, I guess, relates to what is your strategy for attracting the brands and linking them to your platform?
That's a great question. So we are actually already revenue generating. We soft launched around a month and a half ago. We already have 30 brands using the platform and around 200 creators, which are also actively using the platform. At the moment, we're using, we're doing the opposite of scaling in the sense that we are focusing on building a strong community of creators. And this has also meant that some of the first brands joining the platform have been able to do so through the creators which we initially invited. So creators are inviting brands they already work with to use our platform as opposed to us trying to hard sell them our solutions. So they're becoming our ambassadors, and on average, each creator is inviting 10 to 15 brands they've already partnered with. And obviously, we're giving them an incentive for that too. Yeah.
Oh, one more.
How do you intend to compete with built-in solutions from like TikTok, which cut out the middleman, which is yourself?
Yeah, that's such a great question. So we don't actually compete in the sense that they focus on TikTok, right? For example, TikTok focuses on TikTok creators and brands which want to be, which want to gain exposure on TikTok. We work with everyone. So we integrate with Shopify. Down the line, we will integrate with WooCommerce, other e-commerce platforms. And on the social media side, we integrate with Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and other social media. Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to call your attention to something. Sure. I don't know. I can see that scaling efficiency of the platform rely on third-party data.
Yep.
What do you think will happen if all of these companies is feeding you with the wrong data? That is one. Or if they decided to change the contract terms and conditions, don't you think they'll be the one to be dictating how far your platform will go? Or by the time they find out your platform is gaining traction, they decided to go for your gut. It's a strategy in business that you try to like truncate that since they are the one feeding you the major data you're using to scale up. How do you think? Do you have that in your contract? Do you have something that protects you? Or do you have that third-party management risk framework? Thank you.
So on your first question, when you say data, you mean the data we collect from the e-commerce brands or the data we collect from the creators. Which one? Any? Okay. Well, we don't have a certainty that data can always be inaccurate. On the creator side, we're pulling this data from Meta, so we know that it's accurate to a 99% degree. We're enriching this data by partnering also with other data companies. So the ones I've mentioned here, Shopify and Meta are the main ones, but we enrich this data by also working with our data providers. So on average, we get fairly accurate data. In terms of how we're going to protect the company as we scale, well, that's always a risk. We do have an option for brands which are not on Shopify or any other platforms to join. They don't have to be on Shopify. If they are on Shopify, then it's much easier for us to connect them with the right creators and reduce all of the admin work required on their side to launch these campaigns. Down the line, we could definitely become appealing to some of these companies, and I guess that fits into our possible exit strategy. One of these big companies could potentially acquire us down the line. It's not really something I'm stressing too much about, in the sense that we also have two main close competitors in the States. They both raised 377 million within the past 2.5 years. So they're positioned in a fairly similar way as us, but not exactly the same as us. So I would say it's a pretty big space. It's growing very fast. Affiliate marketing is growing by at least 10% over the next 5 to 6 years, and 16% of sales worldwide online come through affiliates. So it's a huge market. It's still largely untapped, especially in the UK and Europe. So yeah, it's definitely something we keep an eye on, but it's not our top main concern. Yeah.
One last question, quick one.
Thank you. I may not have fully understood your business model, so just 2 questions.
Yep.
First one, do you have a black box algorithm, basically, not a two-way marketplace, no way for users to actually directly connect to each other?
Sorry, say it again.
Is the black box algo on your side, or do users have a two-way marketplace to connect with each other?
What we use, or?
Yeah, what's your current model?
Our current model, well, we are a SaaS first and then a marketplace. So we actually have, well, next slide. We have different pricing models. The first one is for those which are going to be using us as a SaaS. So it's those brands which need a place to get all of their campaigns and collaboration organized in one place. These companies might already be working with many different creators. They just need a place to keep everything organized. Then we offer 2 different pricing options for those which are looking to expand their collaborations through the marketplace features. So we are SaaS first and then a marketplace for those which are looking to find new creators for their collaborations. We collect a 5% fee upon each successful transaction which happens through the marketplace. At the moment, we're not charging creator, but we're planning to introduce a freemium plan down the line as we introduce more features. We do charge them a 5% fee on their payouts. So every time the creators cash in, we charge them 5%, which is considerably low compared to the agency model, for example, which charges on average 40% on both sides.
Thank you. The second question, I think you partially answered.
Yep.
Sorry. Okay,
I'm happy to take it really quick.
If you can take it afterwards, we'd
Okay.
love it.
Okay.
So again, guys, do you get it? Would you invest in it? Would you recommend it? Please do give us some feedback. That would be really, really lovely. And then, again, once you're doing this, go back to the Federico and give you guys a little bit more time, because your feedback is so important to us. And from this one, of course, we will give our understanding who was your first or your favorite demo of today. But nevertheless, it would also be good for us as a Canopy community, we're a community of entrepreneurs and investors and just extraordinary people. So please give us some feedback on how we can improve, what can be done better, and so on. So use a little bit of time now. I know usually you would say, okay, it's done, you can have some drink. Use a little bit of time now to help us to improve. And nevertheless, Thank you all so much for coming. I really look forward to see you guys next time and enjoy your evening. Thank you so much.